Greetings YouTube and welcome to the Blue Corner. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about something that everyone's been talking about as of late, and that is, of course, the changes that are being done to the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! At least for Japan right now, and yeah, just give you my thoughts on them. To say that there's been a mixed reaction to this, it would be an understatement. I've seen a lot of people say this is a terrible idea, what they're doing, and there's been some people saying this is a great idea. And I'll just give you my thoughts. Feel free to comment below your thoughts about these changes, and let's just dive right into this. So the first and the biggest change that is coming to the OCG is that the player going first cannot draw, meaning you start with 5 cards, and the player going second will start with 6. To be perfectly honest, I'm indifferent to it. Like, I know a couple people were outraged by this, saying it's stupid that you're going to be down a card and that the opponent will be up one, and that there's other people going that this gives you such a disadvantage going first. It's going to be so much better going second now. This eliminates the problem that it comes from going first and all that. And I'm thinking, not overly. I mean, yeah, you're going to be down a card on your opponent going first, but you still have all the other benefits of going first, which is extremely powerful in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! You get the opportunity to perform your normal summon without any interruptions. All you have to really worry about is your opponent having an effect failure for something like a tour guide, but you're free to summon your Thunder King and set your cards without worry of end phase MST and such. Like, you also get the ability to combo off on the first turn if you're playing something like Hieratics, Hieratic Rulers, or you're playing something like Dragoonity if Ravine was still around, because they have Ravine there, so Dragoonity will still be able to do the Doogie. Like, I understand that being down a card is going to really bite, but you're still going to be able to set up your board, and your opponent is still going to have to break through it. And on the flip side, you could be a combo deck that would appreciate the extra draw going second, but that extra draw might not be what you need in order to break your opponent's opening setup. So I do think that even with this rule change, going first is still way better than going second. Like, there's still a huge amount of advantage for just winning the die roll, and that's going to be a problem that Yu-Gi-Oh! Will have for a long time. Honestly, I feel if Konami really wanted to make it so that going first has a disadvantage, they should make it so that you cannot special summon when you're going first. I mean, in Pokemon, you can't evolve your guys during the first 2 turns. You have to play them, and then you have to wait until the next turn before you're able to evolve, which would be the equivalent of special summoning for Yu-Gi-Oh! In a sense. Like, yeah, like this change, excuse me, I don't have a problem with it. It's a good idea, but it's not going to be enough to fix all the issues with the game. And to the people that are going to be making comparisons to Magic the Gathering, how, oh, they're copying Magic. Well, I will say one thing about Magic. It's a game that has gone on for as long as it has. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if other card games actually took some cues from them to try and spice up things with theirs. If anything, Konami, I think, would really benefit from taking some other stuff in Magic. In particular, is the fact that they have tournaments for other formats. Forgive me if I make a mistake on some of these, but as far as I know, Magic has like its regular format, then it's got a legacy format, a commander format, a vintage format. Some of these are of course really expensive, but like Yu-Gi-Oh! Could benefit from having tournaments held in earlier formats such as the almighty plant format, Teledeck, Go Control, Dupe Troops, Troop Dupe Scoop, Perfect Circle, and such forth. Or they could have a traditional tournament. Of course, that would be really dumb because of all the amount of cards that are in traditional, but at the same time, traditional formats and tournaments every once in a while are also really fun just because of the stupid amount of things you can do. It's actually really challenging coming up with a really good deck that's filled with a whole bunch of banned cards. At least it was for me when I was doing 100 card tournaments, but all in all, it's an okay idea. I'm not going to be quitting the game over this. That's That's definitely a thing. And then the other thing that they got is text for the official card game will now be made easier to read. So they're getting their own version of problem-solving text. It looks like basically cards are going to have numbers on them designating effect number 1, effect number 2, instead of having a whole bunch of text in there. I don't know how that's going to translate over to the TCG, or if we're just going to stick with problem-solving text. And then the last rule change is that both players can have a field spell on the field simultaneously. I'm gonna miss the field spell war thing, but really, field spells have been glorified continuous spells for a very long time. Case in point, Hero City 2. So, yeah. Oh well. This just means that hopefully when Ravine comes back, I can play Ravine and not have to worry about losing it to Gates, or to Tower, or to Necro Valley. I can still search out my Legionnaires so I can go Legionnaire Ackley's pop the Necro Valley. I mean, not Legionnaire Ackley's, I mean Ackley's into Legionnaire, then pop Necro Valley. There we go. It's been a while since I played Dragoody. Shut up. But, yeah, those are my thoughts on that. I'm gonna do this stuff later, but yeah, those are my thoughts on the new rule changes. I'm okay with them. I'm still gonna go first when I can because it's just still better to go first and set up. And yeah, the one thing I do wonder is, how opening 5 cards is going to affect all the probability things. Like, you have X% chance of opening with a 3 of on your first turn when you draw into 6, but now you're drawing into 5, so that percentage is going to go down. This actually makes it so some decks that have cards they don't want to see in their opening hand have a less chance of drawing it, such as Gen X Controller or Labrador Dragon. Intriguing. But yeah, again, if you have thoughts on this, comment down below. And until next time, people, this is BlueStar899, jacking out.